We were about 20 months old. We had our first CD out. Nobody knew who the hell we were. And, so they're sorry folks, the Beelzebubs will not be here tonight, but we have from Indiana, or they call it University of Indiana, which we hate. It's Indiana University. Indiana University are straight no chasers, splattering of applause. Nobody really cared. And then we opened with Aaliyah, and the second we opened our mouths, the crowd went absolutely nuts. And standing ovation, which none of the other groups got. We were the youngest group there. And then we were selling our CD out, and people wrapped around the corner. And I remember groups saying, "Hey, we're selling our CDs too." And I just remember turning to our group and saying, "We're now officially a group." So.
And then we took that CD money right to
Kilroy's.
Circle of Life, Circle of Life. So Steven wants to know, you guys travel across the country. What's your favorite concert venue to perform in?
I think everyone's favorite venue is going to be their hometown venue, where all their friends and family and teachers from all the schools, But this fall, the Fox Theater in Detroit is going to be... That is going to be probably the best experience of my life. I mean, that, just growing up, seeing a million shows there, and finally getting on that stage is going to be pretty surreal. Yeah. But this ship is my favorite venue.
There have been a couple of kind of historical, storied venues that we've done. We've done the Ryman Auditorium, of course, in Nashville, which is the Mother Church of Country Music. I love it there. We've also played, when we sang with Katherine Jenkins in December of 2010, we played at the Royal Albert Hall in London. So that was these are really cool places. The Hollywood Bowl, that was before me.
That Royal Albert Hall is like at least 30 years old.
I think it's like 30, 40 years old, something like that.
England's old. It is because it's my hometown, but also because it's Indiana University, the auditorium. We've played there once before, and we're going to be back in November. That's pretty special for all of us, because I don't think when we were doing this group in college we ever thought, it's like 3,600 seats or something like that, and I don't think we ever thought we'd be filling past the first 10 rows or so, that's pretty special. There's only 100 tickets left in case anybody wants to go.
Ooh.
I need to get those.
Seggy's family just bought them all. They'll be on StubHub tomorrow.
So speaking of Seggy, we got a question. Deb wants to know what's on your iPod. Deb wants to know what's on your iPod.
What's on my iPod? Music. Let's see, right now, a lot of house music. I like house music a lot. I just got some new stuff, like the new Adele single, Skyfall, is pretty killer if you haven't heard it. Kanye West's new album. Pretty much anything new. I like buying new music and updating my music all the time. And of course, Ryan Allworth CD is just always Yeah. I Can See Forever. I can. That song spoke directly.
Oh my God.
It's like you were sitting across from me when you wrote the lyrics.
Did you write that in the ship?
Yeah, I did. Across from me. You guys want to leave the stage?
What is one reminder of home that you never leave home without when you're on the road?
Any Apple product. Wow, that's tough, huh?
For me, it's not really like something that I bring with, but we jokingly said Apple products, but the photo stream ability on the iPhone and iPad is the absolute most important thing to me in life. Yeah. Being able to see what Hayden's doing, how crazy he's being, or what he's just destroyed at home, it's invaluable. That's what gets me through on the long bus trips that Randy and I share a bump.
Was I asleep? I don't remember any of it.
Who's the biggest IU basketball fan in the group?
It's in Don's parents here? Yep, that's blood. Yeah, my dad went to IU for grad school. My sisters were born in Bloomington. My mom, all right, so for those of you that don't know, in 2002, it was a fairly significant year for Indiana basketball. In Sweet 16, we beat then #1 Duke. Went to the final game. We lost in the final game, but it was a good year for us. And I actually wasn't. I was in school in Colorado at the time, but it was spring break, and I was out vacationing with some friends. And I kind of just started dating my now wife, Erica, and she went and watched the game with my parents at like the bar. So that was kind of a important moment for her. But the reason I bring this up is my mom has 5 children. There's me, and we have 4 sisters. Obviously, you know, she's married. A lot of great things have happened in her life. That day that we beat Duke, she calls the greatest day of her life.
Don is such a big basketball fan, he actually dyed his hair that color.
I've been trying to get it to crimson for years. It's a difficult color. Fritz, can we get the monitors off? You can probably don't need them on. Oh, yeah. That 2002 year was my freshman year, and we snuck a keg up into our dorm room. And for those of you who don't know, Indiana is a dry campus. You're not allowed to have any alcohol at any building.
He was 18 years old.
I was a really old freshman. And after the game, we were all so excited. We lived on the 7th floor of our dorm. This is probably actually by now.
Mom, Dad, go ahead and leave right now.
Remember that bill you got? No, I'll tell you, I'm not ashamed. I was young and stupid and hilarious. A bunch of us on the 7th floor threw a couch out the window and celebration. A full couch out the window, 7th floor. Didn't hit anybody.
But the guy sleeping
What, the Frisco? What, it was Forest, yeah. Which is no longer there. Someone threw a couch in the entire Forest. Just
Bring it back, Dan Ponce from 2002. We were at a bar in Atlanta, Georgia. And I don't know how much we were down at halftime. So we said to the bartender, she said, what would you guys do if you guys came back and won this game? We would streak Peachtree, which is the main street in Atlanta. So when they did win, we had to own up to it. We were ran down Peachtree. Mom, Dad, sorry, I just saw you for the first time. Meanwhile, I was watching the game in Indianapolis with my folks, and I was living in Chicago. I was in Indianapolis visiting my folks, so I had all my laundry in the trunk. The game ended, and I was like, I knew these guys were in Atlanta, so I just started driving from Indianapolis to Atlanta. Took I think about 6.5 hours. At about Louisville, I pulled over, filled up. I was driving an '83 two-door. No, that was a BMW, '83 BMW two-door stick. No, it was not fancy, believe me. It turned over 200,000 miles on that trip down there. So I pulled over and I filled up with gas, got a quart of oil and a road map. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm wearing my Indiana shirt, and it's just this little old lady at the counter that the humor was completely lost on. We could probably do a million Indiana stories for basketball because, you know, it's the one thing that all 10 of us can agree on. Not even that, like, liking a cappella, but, like, that we all like Indiana basketball. This past year, when Indiana beat Kentucky, there it is, beat them down. I'm sorry, that day Indiana won. Marky, sit down. You're on our team. We're 1-1. You were in the playoff. We have an ESPN commercial. We have microphones and you do not. All right. So we were all in San Diego, and it was the day of a show, and so we're all like, you know, day of a show at a sports bar. You know, there's kind of that unset thing, like just, you know, when something good happens, it's like. There's a lot of
Save your voice.
Gotta rest the voice. So Christian Walker steps back. I don't know if you remember this. He steps back at the 3, hits it, the clock expires, Tom Crean, and all of Indiana goes crazy. There's an ESPY Award won. And the 10 of us lose
our minds and our voices all at the same exact time. And there's a video, if you go online, of like, you know, people all around the country watching it. And there's a shot of the bar that we were at in San Diego, because it was an Indiana club, and you just see Jerome like running through the middle of the club, no shirt.
No pants.
That's done. So if you're at that show later that night, sorry.
So, speaking of differences and stuff like that, people want to know how do you settle differences? Does majority rule?
7/10. That's the standard. I know that's not a joke, it's not funny, but it's actually true. Everything is 7/10, and the other 3 have to live with it, usually.
How do you select the songs that you sing on the road and also that you record?
7/10.
For a while, I was doing the set list, and it would be kind of a collaborative thing with different guys. And then this past year, kind of gave up the reins, and Tyler and Jerome were doing a lot of the set list. And you know, we have a sound check every day, which serves as our rehearsal, but also serves as a chance for us to kind of give feedback on the song. So it's kind of democratic. Somebody eventually has to put the songs in the order that they come out, and then we try to listen to fan requests if we get tweets or whatever on a particular day, and, you know.
This is an interesting question. Do you ever watch fan YouTube videos and critique yourselves?
We were watching them the other day to go over blocking for choreography. Some of that Christmas stuff, we were like, I have no idea where I stand for the song. Thank you, Daisy Carey.
So I'm going to take a question from the audience. Who's got